My mother called me in tears. "Your father's at a hotel right now with his mistress. You have to help me catch them in the act." But when we stormed into the room, my father collapsed in panic, and my jaw hit the floor when I saw the mistress was my wife. My revenge was immediate. The call that shattered everything. You never expect your entire world to come undone before lunch. It was a quiet Saturday. I was refilling the bird feeder out back, thinking about whether to grill later when my phone rang. Mom, crying, panicked. "He's doing it again," she sobbed. "He's at a hotel right now with her. I saw the charge on our joint card. Please, baby, I can't go alone." My father, married to my mom for 37 years. A man I grew up defending, even when I shouldn't have. He had wandered once before, 10 years ago. Supposedly a mistake, a midlife crisis. But this wasn't a mistake. This was a repeat offense. And my mom, she was breaking. "Text me the address," I said. "I'll drive." 27 minutes later, the hotel was a mid-tier place on the edge of town. Not sexy, not flashy, just private enough to disappear into. Mom was already waiting in the parking lot, hands trembling as she clutched her purse like it was armor. I followed the GPS charge. "Room 312, she whispered. I nodded. My stomach was coiled steel. My hands were cold. "You sure you're ready for this?" I asked her. She wiped her tears. "Number. But I have to see it." So we walked. Elevator up. 3rd floor, long hallway. Each step felt like it was dragging my chest behind it. I knocked once, then again, louder. I heard shuffling inside, a muffled voice, and then the door opened. The moment time froze. My father stood there shirtless, pale, frozen in panic. What the hell are you doing here?" he stammered. But I wasn't looking at him because beyond him, sitting on the edge of the hotel bed in my favorite red dress, was my wife, Emily. Hair tousled, lipstick smeared, face flushed. And the moment our eyes met, she didn't say a word. She just gasped and pulled the blanket over her legs. I didn't speak, not at first. I just turned to my mom, who hadn't seen the woman yet. And then I watched her collapse into me as she realized exactly who the mistress was. Chapter 2, the silence that spoke volumes. I didn't punch anyone. I didn't scream. I just stood there watching two people I trusted destroy themselves in front of me. My mom had dropped to her knees, choking on tears, repeating, "No, no, no," like it might change what we'd seen. Emily didn't say anything. She just clutched the blanket tighter like it would shield her from the weight of what she'd done. My father tried to talk. "It's not what it looks like." I held up a single finger. "Don't." My voice was ice. No rage, no pleading, no confusion, just a tone that made him finally shut up. Then I turned to my wife. "You packed that red dress last weekend for your girls' brunch, remember?" She blinked, said nothing. I stepped aside and helped my mom up. She was shaking so hard I had to hold her like a child. "Let's go," I said. And as we walked away, I heard my father whisper to Emily, "You told me he wouldn't be here." The aftermath. I didn't sleep that night. Neither did Mom. We sat at my place, mostly in silence. The TV on but muted. Her hand wrapped around a cup of untouched tea. She'd lost her husband. I'd lost my wife. But more than that, we'd been humiliated together, betrayed by the two people who should have loved us most. And that's when something shifted inside me. No more silence. No more wondering why. They'd chosen each other. Fine. Let them face what that actually meant. Because betrayal isn't just an emotional wound. It's an opportunity, if you're ruthless enough to use it. Chapter 3, the plan in motion. Some people react to betrayal with rage. I reacted with a spreadsheet. Step 1, inventory the damage. While Emily stayed silent, and my father went into hiding, I got to work. I didn't respond to Emily's texts. I didn't return calls. Not even when she sent a photo of our wedding album with the caption, "Can we talk before we lose everything?" No, Emily, you already threw it away. What I did do was collect screenshots of her phone activity thanks to synced cloud access she never disabled, financial statements, travel receipts, a backup of her deleted texts. Yes, she'd been stupid enough to use our shared Apple ID. What I built was not a case for heartbreak. It was a case for annihilation because what I saw buried in those texts, they'd been meeting for months in our home while I was on business trips. She even bought my father a smartwatch for his birthday, paid with our joint account. Step 2, legal setup. I called our family attorney, a quiet man named Vincent, who handled small business contracts and real estate closings. But Vincent had once been a divorce litigator, a ruthless one. When I told him everything and handed him the file folder labeled Exhibit A, Infidelity and Financial Misconduct, he blinked once and said, "We're going to eat them alive." We filed for divorce the next morning. In the petition, adultery with evidence, misuse of marital funds, emotional distress with a signed statement from my mother. I also had him draft a cease and desist order preemptively to bar Emily from stepping foot on my property. She'd learn about it when she got served at her new boyfriend's place, my dad's place. Step 3, quiet sabotage. While Vincent did the legal heavy lifting, I handled the social side. I contacted my father's church board. He was a respected elder and forwarded the hotel incident report. No commentary, no context, just the truth. I called the golf club and had his membership put under review for violations of conduct. I even reached out to his old military buddy who ran a veterans charity my dad had been involved in. One conversation later, his speaking event for Memorial Day was cancelled. No fanfare, no drama, just the slow, quiet collapse of the image they both tried to maintain. They wanted passion. I gave them consequences. Chapter 4, The Fallout. I didn't have to wait long for the effects to ripple through their carefully constructed little bubble because when two snakes lie together, eventually one bites the other. Emily cracked first. It started with the texts. "I'm sorry. Please just talk to me. It wasn't about love. It was a mistake. I didn't mean for you to find out like that." Then came the calls. Blocked. Then her mother reached out, a woman who never liked me. "She's not well. She's staying in a motel. Says your dad's been cold ever since you exposed them." "Oh, you mean the man who slept with his son's wife isn't husband material?" Shocking. Emily soon realized what I already knew. My revenge was immediate. My father never wanted a relationship. He wanted rebellion, a thrill, control. But now she was just the woman who cost him his reputation, his marriage, and soon a chunk of his savings. Because that's when the court filings landed. She'd been served divorce proceedings with overwhelming evidence of infidelity and misappropriation of marital funds. And she had no idea how I got the screenshots of her buying designer lingerie on my Amazon account. Spoiler, her login never changed. My father. Public shame. 3 days after I sent the hotel incident report to his church board, he stepped down voluntarily. But it didn't stop there. His once tight circle of poker friends suddenly got busy. His charity circle began routing his calls to voicemail, and his work. The family business I helped him modernize was now under pressure because when vendors heard about the scandal, deals got delayed. My mother, meanwhile, had filed for separation. Her attorney, Vincent. Then came the letter. It wasn't handwritten. It wasn't emotional. It was a single-page email from Emily. "I made a mistake. I lost everything. I was confused. And I let the wrong person convince me you didn't love me. I'm not asking for forgiveness, just understanding. I never stopped loving you." I read it once, then deleted it. You don't get understanding when you play your husband and your father-in-law like pawns in the same game. You get silence and consequences. The final blow. They say revenge is best served cold. Mine was delivered by courier. The asset reveal. What Emily and my father both forgot was this: I handled the books for my dad's business, for our household, for everything. I knew where the assets were. I knew where the skeletons hid. I knew every password, every offshore whisper, every credit line they thought was untouchable. So, with the help of Vincent, my now fully activated legal shark, I initiated a process called forensic dissolution. It's simple, really. We uncovered joint financial impropriety. We traced Emily's personal spending during her affair as marital fraud. We linked my father's business expenses to concealed payouts made through vendor accounts, all of which were now subpoenaed. What did this mean? 2 things. My divorce would settle heavily in my favor. My father's business was now exposed to a civil fraud investigation. The checkmate. 1 week later, my father received a notice. He was being sued for breach of fiduciary duty by one of his minority investors, who also received the evidence package I sent anonymously. That investor, a client of mine, called me after filing, laughing. "Never thought I'd say this, but your revenge is better than litigation. Let's grab a drink when this settles." My father, he was hemorrhaging money, reputation in tatters, business imploding. And Emily? She was named as a co-conspirator in the civil filings for misappropriated funds. The face-to-face. 2 months after it all started, I ran into them at a grocery store. Yes, together. They looked tired, aged, haunted. My father reached for me first. "We need to talk, son. This has gone too far." I cut him off. "No, Dad. It's gone just far enough." Emily whispered, barely audible, "Please. I didn't think it would end like this." I smiled. "It didn't end like this, Emily. It ended the moment you thought I was too stupid to figure it out." And then I walked away. Final chapter, the scar, the silence, and the lesson. Revenge doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just watches as the ones who tried to burn you stand in the ashes of their own fire. Life after the fallout. 6 months later, I live in a different place. New city, quiet apartment. Peace I didn't know I could afford. I don't look over my shoulder anymore. I don't wait for apologies. And I don't check for missed calls. They lost the right to reach me the day they made me disappear in my own life. My father, his business folded. A settlement gutted most of his retirement fund. He now rents a small condo and volunteers at a local VFW. Word is even the men there avoid sitting too close. He tried to call twice. I let it ring out. You don't get to be a father only when it's convenient. Emily? She filed for bankruptcy. Her reputation was scorched. Her friendships scattered like dust. The last update I got was from a mutual friend who said she moved back in with her sister. I wish I could say I felt sorry for her, but regret is a luxury you give to people who made a mistake. What she did was a decision. The scar. People think the worst part of betrayal is the moment it happens. It's not. The worst part is the version of you that dies with it. The man who trusted too easily, forgave too quickly, loved too blindly, he doesn't come back. But the version that replaces him? He's bulletproof and cold and very, very calculating. The lesson. If someone tries to wreck your life, don't yell. Don't beg. Don't break. Just listen. Learn. Document. Then, when they least expect it, pull the right string and watch their carefully constructed lie collapse like the house of cards it always was. Because revenge isn't about destroying them. It's about rebuilding you, in silence, in power, and on your own damn terms. Was this the most brutal revenge you've ever heard, or the most justified? If it hit you like it hit them, then smash that like button. Subscribe.